Welcome everybody to kind of an impromptu live stream. I thought I'd start streaming here and testing out kind of a system I have. Obviously, I got two cameras here, as you can see. Kind of just seeing how this works, and I'm also streaming over a wireless connection, so testing to see if I can do this over my wireless network. YouTube doesn't recommend doing it over a wireless connection, but anyway, we're going to try it out here. It seems to be working pretty good. There is probably about a 10 to 15 second delay, so if we get some people in the chat here, when you ask a question, mind you, what you're seeing is delayed from what I'm going to see there. I'm not using the highest, I'm using the highest latency, I guess, because I don't want to be pushing too much through my internet connection. But that's kind of some of the technicals out of the way. We'll just kind of hang out here, wait until we see some people in here actually watching, and we'll kind of just get to going. Oh, looks like we got a couple people hopping in here. So, yeah, if you're in watching, why don't you say hello? Oh, I wondered if you wouldn't have popped in here. This was kind of an impromptu stream. I'd only been streaming for about 30 seconds here, and you're the first one in. So, howdy, Kent. And anyway, you can't see the chat window. I didn't put it in in the Windows setup here. We're not doing this super professional this time around because I'm still testing my Garage PC, which if you guys who are watched that video, you know what I'm doing here. And you guys might have not heard the very beginning of the stream. I'm running two cameras here, checking it with my streaming software and my setup and seeing if the encoder, well, I know the encoder can handle it. It's more if the video card and processor can handle it, which it should, because it's a Core i9, pretty quick. I got 8 gigs of RAM in this, even though it's an older motherboard, and then I got a well, it's nothing but a 1 gig DDR5 RAM card. That's probably too many technical things, and to be honest, that's about all I know. All I know is you want a good video card and processor for quality streams. But I'm also running over a wireless network there, Kent, and out here in the garage. And YouTube doesn't recommend that, but it apparently, hopefully, isn't too laggy for you. I'm not experiencing any lagginess here. We're on about a 10-second delay. I have it the longest latency, just so the data gets out to YouTube server and can get processed rather than trying to do that real time. So running on probably a 10-15 second delay. And I'm reading here, guys like you are doing things to share their knowledge. Yeah, and you're probably reading my question down here, which I haven't really gotten to, is what inspires you? And we'll get into that kind of conversation going. And you're saying I had to update my video card before I get the encoder. Yep. Yep, that's a big thing there. Wooden Metal Workshop, Kent, he has a YouTube channel for you guys watching this archive. I'll leave a link in the description. I'll update it and go check him out because you know, this topic and this stream was inspired by his video at the time of recording this about 2 days ago on makers, or who is a maker, and what do you make. And I didn't get to hang out in that chat as long as I would have liked to, but I watched the archive later and they had some good discussions about, you know, making and doing some makery stuff. As you can see here, normally I have my garage a little cleaner. I mean, it's not a mess by any stretch of the imagination, but I, you know, have my some of my tools and crap on my workbench because I'm doing things here in prep for something I'm doing on the weekend here. That's offline. You guys won't hear about that, or you won't see anything about that. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, this this stream was inspired by his stream, even though I've been streaming a little bit off and on, and he started doing a weekly stream, and I'd like to make this a weekly stream. I don't know if it'll be Thursday nights. This was just I went live and just kind of set up my encoder real quick, but I might have a regular event. I'll nail down a date once kind of winter time comes. Maybe you know I can stream on a more regular basis. But yeah, so let's kind of get into it a little bit with whoever's in here. How many people we got in here? We got 5 people in here, okay, but only 2 are kind of chatting. So you got other guys that are either watching on your phone or on desktop, tap on that screen and say something. But anyway, what inspires you? That's what we're kind of talking about here, and we'll go into other things. You've got a other question for me about just about anything or tech question, but even if it's about nothing, we can talk about it. But well, I guess I'll start with like I said, what inspires me. I mentioned one thing that inspired this stream, but just what I do here on YouTube. I'm inspired by a lot of other YouTubers, and his topic about making got me to thinking. It's like I watch a lot of other YouTubers, not just garage type guys, but I watch kind of some like retro gaming type content, even a little bit of vlogging stuff. Not not heavy into those kind of people, but occasionally, and then some kind of current event stuff, like more YouTube current event, what's going on. I mean, the big thing these days is the whole demonetization, and oops, that probably is going to get this video flagged by saying that. But I don't get into those discussions big time, expressing my opinion on it. I mean, about all I'll say about it is it's kind of one guy kind of ruined it for everybody here on YouTube. And if you're not paying attention, I don't want to, you don't need to, if you're paying attention, you know who I'm talking about. If not, he's the most subscribed YouTuber, and, he did some things maybe in the name of comedy that were of poor taste, and some people, there was some backlash from advertisers and everything like that. But I'm not here to do this to make money. If I was, I'd be pumping out videos daily like you're supposed to, because these last November and December, as Wood and Metal knows, because he kind of does things a little bit like me. Actually, he does them a little better in a lot of ways. These are the months that we should be really making content and getting those eyeballs on those ads that show up. If I really wanted to be smart and try to make a lot of money. But no, I'm just here for the fun of it. And that's another thing segues into why he inspires me. Is he's a let's just say older in age YouTuber, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what I mean is YouTube generally is probably thought as kind of a young person's thing, and you got to be real narcissistic and or all about me, and trying to get famous and all that stuff. And here's a guy that just wants to share his knowledge on YouTube, and is willing to put up with filming the content, doing some light editing, and interacting with the people who are watching. And it's work. And it's not for everybody. And if a guy can't like that can do it and have an enjoyment of it, it's kind of revitalized my interest in YouTube. Not that it ever really waned, but maybe to improve what I'm doing here, maybe branch out of stuff. I at times throw some spaghetti at the wall, but everything I'm doing, including this kind of, as of this stream, as of the stream, it's kind of a sort of secret project. But if you're watching this archived after I post this project, which probably won't be until January 2018, so if you're watching this after this, maybe I'll have a link I'll update the link, or just check my channel and you'll find it. But anyway, this project that I'm doing, it's a lot of work for me, and it's a video, and it's a video. Okay, it's a video. I'll just tell you that it's a video. I guess I was gonna tease that maybe it's something hands-on, but no, it's a video, but it's something totally outside of what I normally do here, and I don't know if it'll show a different side of me at all. Actually, no, it won't. But it's more, it'll show a different type of content than I've ever posted on my YouTube channel. So, you know, I guess there's a little teaser for you. But anyway, I know in making it, even when I came up with the idea, and I've written a script for this thing and kind of loosely storyboarded it out. And while I'm doing this, it's like, you know, this video is going to get like 100 views. I mean, it's only going to be for you guys that are half hardcore watching me right now. So, I mean, so that's why I'm not doing it to try to make something that goes viral or puts me on the map or advances anything. It's purely because I want to see if I can do this, because it's got a lot of things, a lot of effort, and a lot of technical hurdles that I've never dealt with. Some editing hurdles, story construction, just things I've never done before, and I want to see if I can do it. That's, you know, and that's part of this inspiration. Just reading in here. Oh, we got some comments going here. Let's see. Wooden Metal Workshop says, Pure Living for Life is a vlog channel I watch. It frustrates me, but also inspires me. I've never heard of that channel. I'll have to maybe check it out, but tell me why it inspires you, and tell me why it frustrates you a little bit here. And I'll kind of move on to the next one, and then we'll come back to it. Jack Boot, and he's the YouTuber that sent me some packets of Cincinnati chili. And that's not the surprise video, but that video will be coming sometime. That's another one I got some work to do. I got some friends that I want to have over, and we're going to try it out and put it all on camera. And I think now here's another deal. If we're talking about wanting to get a lot of views and really grow and all this, making a video targeted virtually one YouTube fan is not the way you do that. But that's not why I'm here. But I want to read your comment here because I think it's pretty good. I would say God and my wife inspire me a lot. I recently read an article and saw a speech from Joe Pirasante. I probably am pronouncing that wrong. Afghan veteran that was shot in the head and now blind, but now is a professional bodybuilder. Well, yeah. Now, that sounds very inspirational because, wow, what a challenge to overcome. Now, Jack, why? What does that inspire you to do, though? That's kind of maybe what I'm really asking here is, okay, what is your inspiration, and then what does it inspire you to do, either better or do or whatever? And Wooden Metal kind of was responding, I think, to my comment there. The thing is, you never know what is going to hit hard. My flatbed video took a year to explode. Yeah. Okay. You're talking. Yes, you're talking about that. I know. My Tonka truck restorations, they get hot, and they're hot right now. And they were hot back in like July. But all my carburetor videos, that's the thing. If I was a smart person, all I would do would be, actually I have one sitting here, is take this thing and talk about this screw on here, because somebody will search about that. But if I can't add something that somebody hasn't already done, or explain it in a different way, better, possibly answer the common questions that people have better, you know, I'm not going to make the video. But I do have another I have this all written down, and I haven't even filmed this one, but I am going to make another carburetor video, and I'm going to try some newer things with it. to sort of answer some common questions from this, mostly aimed at kind of novices or people that are unfamiliar and but think they either are doing it because they ain't got a lot of money and they can't take it to their shop, or they just want to be more self-sufficient, help yourselves. There's always a time and a place, and I do it myself, where you hire somebody to do something. And a lot of times that's the smartest way to do things. However, it's good, even if you're not going to do the job yourself, it's good to educate yourself to know what the professional is doing, and I hope that my videos do that too. So that's something going down the road there. Anyway, I'm losing track of my comments here. Wood and Metal says they're built. That's a comment to the vlogging channel that he likes watching. They're building a timber frame home. They're complete noobs, but doing the best they can and learning. That's actually sounds like a channel that I'd like, because it's showing. It's kind of like that was decent on, what was it, DIY Network. This is before that network went complete to beep. Renovation Realities, only, this is probably less hyped up and stuff. So, that's probably fun to watch. Might have to check it out. The frustrating part is since they don't know what they're doing and learning a job, they spend time where it's not needed, like worrying about, yeah. But your comment there is that's how you learn. And I know you know this, but I mean, yes, it's frustrating as a person like us who, while I'm going to only speak for myself, I don't consider myself an expert in anything, but I feel I have a lot of knowledge in a lot of things. So it kind of, like stuff like this, that I would watch it and I'd be like, yeah, just move ahead. But there was a time I was like that, that's how I got to where I am with some of the knowledge I have. So, 6 in one hand, half a dozen other, maybe. Yep, not inspires you because they're not afraid to make mistakes. And, I think that's a big thing people need to learn just about themselves, is make the mistakes, because even my real job, that's the thing. I mean, I've been doing that job for, oh God, I don't even want to say it, 14 years, 15 years now, and I still make some mistakes, but I'm learning new things too, always, constantly, especially with some things I got going on at my other job, or my real job, is things I've never done, never thought I'd do. I was never even trained to do, and I'm doing them. So yeah. Jack Boots says your videos do help those. Last year, I knew both of small motors and wanted to learn. Started with your car video on a mower and then worked up to 72 half. Oh, okay. I know who. You know what? I know who you are now. Sort of. Well, through the internet, I know who you are. I remember, and I think your comments are on my website somewhere. I could go find them later. I am glad. I am glad that helped you. That's exactly why I make the videos. If I reach one person like that, that's more than any of the ad revenue I may make off of anything. So, and I've been doing this YouTube thing, and I've said this before, since January. I can't remember the exact date. Like it's January 26, 2006 is when I opened the account and uploaded my first video, purely to really share it with my parents who were not close by, and at the time I could share it in real time, I guess, is the main thing, but also I had no other way to share it other than them sitting in front of my computer and watching it. And at the time I didn't have a DVD burner because those were real expensive yet. There wasn't such thing as Blu-ray. USB thumb drives were around, but they were even expensive. I mean, there's just challenges with sharing something you created, video-wise and even picture-wise back then. I mean, God, it hasn't been that long. But anyway, things like that. It's like I saw the platform and it's like, this is what, because I could go into my whole history of making videos and things, and I've touched here and there a little bit on it and past it, but it's like you know, I was making films, like 8mm films at like age 10, and like when my friends would come over, I'd dig out the fucking demonetization. I'd dig out the projector and force them to watch my 3-minute films, because that's all that would fit on a standard 8mm, until I got a film splicer, and then, oh my God, I'm going down a rabbit hole now. But you know, I was a tween and doing this, and you know, my family and my sister and a handful of my friends, you know, classmates at the time, maybe saw these things, and they're in a, you know, they're in a shoebox in a dark in a shoebox in a sealed box from light in a, you know, cold, dry place right now. and you know, they've never. I had them converted to VHS back in the late '90s or something, or mid '90s, mid to late '90s. As before DVD converting was a thing. I mean, that's gone too. But so I do have them in a different medium, but even that medium's hard to watch and extrapolate. That's why. Let's see if I can kind of point to it here. Next to that speaker over there is one of two good quality CRTs from the early '90s that I can get down and, well, do my retro gaming systems on, and also my good 6-head VCR to watch stuff like that. Cold, dry space like a dead hamster. Yep. Oh, hey, Paul, you're just jumping in here. Hey, I'll just kind of catch you up here. We're kind of talking about what inspires you, and I was just talking about some things that inspire me and some projects I've done. We got some other going here, and so if you want to think about that a little bit, what inspires you to create things, not just videos, but anything, you know. But let's see, Mark H. Hey, Owen, no way. Hey, you're from old Wooden Metal Stream. Okay, I recognize you. Which, if you just got in here and you didn't hear, the reason for this stream and this specific topic was inspired by his stream about 2 days ago, as the time we're filming this. You know, it inspired me to do this. Check out my system here. We're going over Wi-Fi connection here. Working pretty good. I'm also testing 2 cameras here. That's why you're seeing a picture-in-picture kind of thing. I won't normally do that, but we're just checking, because if I do some live projects, I'll have a 2-camera setup, and I'll probably have my wife run the cameras to swap back and forth. You know, she can be my my production manager or something like that, I guess is what they call them in the biz. Mark H. What inspires me? I'd definitely say your barn find builds. Also get inspired by looking at old junk in the woods and rebuilding tractors, etc. Well, I'm flattered that you are inspired by my videos. I would like to do some more of those. I do have a ton of projects waiting in the wings for that kind of thing. But my gosh, the 2 bikes I did and filmed them, the whole process just, oh, it was fun. It was a labor of love. I mean, honestly, the filming and the video took longer than doing the bikes themselves, if you can believe that. And there's things I do better about those, but I just don't have the time to sit down and devote. I mean, I knocked that first 13 episode series, and each one of those videos were good 10 to 15 minutes, even one approached 20 minutes, um, with some stuff, and had tons of tech in there, tons of shots and edits and graphics and this and that and music, and had to do audio work to try to fix the sound and such. And um, I just worked on those every night after I came home from my real job, and and um, and worked from that time, so say about 5-ish o'clock, till like 10:30, 11 at night on it, on the bike, on the videos. And I did all that in it was about 3.5, 4 months. I didn't log the exact hours, but the bike was only about a third of that time as far as the work on the bike. The rest of it was transferring the video, converting it, working on individual clips, and then combining those clips to larger clips that go into one episode. And then those multiple clips goes into one episode, putting the bumpers, and actually I did that series originally for a now defunct website, which, gosh, that's a whole other story. Technically, I used to work for Disney. Technically speaking here. Blip.tv was the website. They were a kind of a competitor to YouTube, but a competitor to more YouTube Red content, sort of. As in a little higher quality or a little higher production quality type video. And it was that site was purely invite only. I got in on that site back in the good old days, about 2009, and I kind of abandoned my YouTube channel. Well, didn't abandon it, but just didn't post a lot to YouTube there, and was focusing on Blip because they had a strong. It was owned by Blip TV, then Maker Studios bought them, and then Disney bought Maker Studios, and it was distributed worldwide. I mean, videos on there worldwide to multiple devices. They had a whole ad sales team, so it paid well. And I was like, wow, I'm kind of getting paid. No, I'm not making a living at this, mind you, but I mean, it was the first time I was like, I was in the YouTube Partner Program, but my views were like, 500 views a day or something like that. So not much. And so this was like, to me, was like real money for doing a hobby that I love. So that's where those were really produced for that, and then I eventually uploaded them to YouTube for a wider audience. And then in 2015, that website shut down, and and all my content was gone from there. But and it's gone. But hang on, I'm losing track here. Paul's in here. Okay. Wood Metal. Another YouTuber that inspires me is SV Seeker. I love Doug's attitude. Never heard of him either. No Way Jerk asks, "What's your real job?" I don't know if I want to keep that as private as I can, but some people could probably figure it out. But I'm not a mechanic as my real job, and I'm not a videographer as my real job. YouTube is not my real job either. Let's see. Just do one vid at a time. Oh yeah. Yeah. I got those ideas too. I'll tell you the real reason why the time crunch is. Just about a year ago today, my son was born, and so kids. But my wife is very supportive of the YouTube channel, and she's been in some of my videos and helped with them as well. But like I said, with the little one who is now, walking, running, toddling, priorities change a little bit. I'm not going to stop YouTube, but my only time is like right now to do things like that, and that's kind of why that stuff I mean, I could make a quick. Actually, I could make a carburetor video right now, just holding this carburetor and pointing to this and doing that, and not showing it very good, and just doing it all talking. And some people, that's all they want, but I want to try to make the best videos that I'm capable of. So I want to get the tight shots and close-ups, and maybe put some graphics up here if need be, or um, just be a little bit more immersive. And you know, I mean, I want it to be as technical as I need to be, but I want it to be so you're left with the video with, and it never happens, but my goal is to, when you watch the video, you'll have very few questions after watching it. And what questions you do have can be very narrowly focused on, all right, you talked about this. Can you give me just a little expansion? I can type that out in the comments easier than having to try to go through everything on every comment, because nobody goes through the comments. And I understand that, because YouTube comments suck as far as trying to find anything in there. So gotta bounce. Break time's over on a 12. You're watching this on your break time? I mean, thank you, but I'd be resting up or talking to my coworkers, or maybe watching a better YouTube video than this. But I sure appreciate it. Yeah, so we'll see ya. Jack has to leave the stream here, but oh, but anyway, hey Paul, you're being a little quiet here. What inspires you? I mean, you guys probably talked a bunch about it on Kent's stream, but how about that van? What inspired you to do that van project? And you guys that are watching this archive, there's a YouTube channel called Paul's Garage, and if I remember, I will put it in the link in the description, but he has a video. I don't know what he's going to do. Restore it. He's going to work on a van that's been in his family. They bought it new. I don't know if it says sentimental value, but anyway, he's just going to learn how to do things. I think it's great. But his first video is funny. It's informative. It has character, and really makes you want to see what comes next. So I sure hope you don't stall out on that, I guess. And Wood Metal's watching this while he's watching paint dry. Well, this might be just slightly more entertaining than watching paint dry, because at least something's moving on the screen. I don't know how entertaining it is, but at least there's moving pictures in front of you. But yeah, hey Paul, if you're still in there, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's inspiring you to do your van? With the van, I want to learn how to do Restomod custom and restoration work. Yeah, that's a good reason. And like I said, and you said this in your video, if you screw it up, no biggie. And you're using the van because it's the only thing you need to work hard. Yeah, it's like I said, you nailed it pretty good in that video. And like I said, I will try my darndest to watch every video. I may not. Most people know this, but I'll tell you. I mean, I may not comment on your videos, but these videos and things, but I do watch them. I do watch them. But it's also, it's also literally dripping with sentimental values and stories from my past. Yeah, I have vehicles that, I mean, that's a whole, actually, Paul, specifically for you, but anybody watching this, I do have in my channel kind of it's an old video, pretty old video actually now, of kind of all my cars and vehicles and things, some that I've restored, some that are waiting restoration, or they were at the time, and I've since restored them. Because that video was made pre-YouTube actually too. But I have a lot of vehicles that I have good memories in, and my motorcycles, which I only have. You can see in the background. Well, you can't even see them all in the background, but I only have in the background here 4 motorcycles, and they're in the garage here with me. The others are in the a separate storage shed that I have for those, and even a couple are in the big shop with the heavy equipment too. And then the projects, some of them do have to sort of sit out, or they have to sit under like lean-tos and things. I mean, it's that's how it is. uh, let's see. I got a new viewer in here, Zenith. Would you be able to tell me where you got something cut off here? Finish your sentence there. I'll answer it if you finish what you're trying to say there. All right. But um, but anyway, I was going back to my story about some of my vehicles and such, and I have every single vehicle I've ever owned and driven. I don't get rid of much of anything. I've only gotten rid of one motorcycle in my life, and that was my 1980 Yamaha XS 1100 that that I rode. I bought it with about 10,000 miles, and I rode it to well over 100,000 miles, and it was just so wore out. Cam chain was sloppy. Camshafts were worn that I couldn't adjust the valves anymore, and it was a shim under bucket style, or shim over bucket. I'm sorry, and they didn't make shims thick enough to account for how worn out the cam lobes were. So it was hard to start. It wasn't reliable enough to take on the trips anymore, like I used to do in my younger days. But anyway, here. Zenith, okay, would you be able to tell me where you got the plastic fenders on the F9 350 motocross build? Yes, I got them from DC Plastics. Or that's who made them, and I think that's the website too. Yeah, they're DC Plastics. And these are actually, I don't have the bike in the background here. But you can see it on my website, and anyway, they aren't designed to fit the F9 or F5 and F8 because they use the same frame, but they're actually for the KX 400. But that's because that frame, it's mostly the rear fender. The front fender is fairly universal. They don't come drilled, so you'll have to drill your own holes, and for me, that's what I wanted. But the rear frame is close enough to the F9's frame that with light modification to the fender, like I said, drilling your holes in the right places and just slightly modifying the original fender brackets, you can make them where, as you can see on my website, you can make them look and fit just right, look like they were meant to be on there. Now, that rear fender is only kind of a, what do you want to call it, 3/4 fender, so you need to get yourself some plastic and kind of form it. I did it with a heat gun and made a wooden buck. I didn't show that in there, and I maybe should have done that. But anyway, to make which you could take a piece of rubber like inner tube or something and make that, or cut an old piece of tire, or whatever. But to fill the space from here down into the swing arm, so it's not shoving all the mud and stuff up to where the airbox should be. So anyway, so actually, Zenith, I'm not familiar with who you are. I don't know if you commented on my website or something. Usually I remember usernames. Go to one of the pages on my F9 project, and in the comments section on my website, you don't have to register. You can do it all anonymously, but you can upload a picture there in the comments. I'd like to see that bike. I'd like to see what you're working on. I always like to see what my viewers are working on. That's another thing that inspires me. Wooden Metal said, by the way, that truck snowblower video was awesome. Yeah, that was, what were we talking? That was in another stream, I think. But yeah, we're talking about either snowblowers or I can't remember. But yeah, I said go check that out. Yeah, that's an FWD or four-wheel drive company brand. That's the brand of truck They actually FWD invented four-wheel drive vehicles. That they made the first four-wheel drive car. Anyways, and that's the type of truck. A lot of people think it's an International, and I forget which model, and it's very similar because the International bought some of the cabs from them to use on their models, but it's anyway, it's a FWD is the brand, stands for four-wheel drive. So it's a four-wheel drive brand truck, and then on the back is I think it's a 14-liter. 14 liter is the size. It's a straight 8. Climax is the brand engine. 1957, and it's a gas motor. They did make that particular setup with a large diesel engine too. The diesel would be more preferable. However, that would have been days before glow plugs and things, and so a diesel would definitely be harder to start. But it has more torque, and the engine on the rear is what drives the snowblower on the front. So there's a like a V drive setup kind of thing, and then a long drive shaft that runs a power takeoff up to the front there. And then the truck engine, I forget, I think it's a straight 8 as well, but it's I don't think four-wheel drive made their own engines, so it might be a Continental or something like that. I don't remember the size, but it's a huge straight 8 that's under there that runs the truck. And then it has it's a 5-speed with and it's full-time four-wheel drive, obviously, and it's a 5-speed with an over-under, I think. So it can crawl at like a quarter mile an hour or something like that. You can get out and let it just go and chew through a snowbank. And that's what it's designed for. It can chew through like an 8-foot bank, I think, 8-foot tall bank, snowbank, and but its top speed's like 45 miles an hour. So it was, my dad bought it more as a novelty, but we used to have cattle and such, so it was, and where the farm is on a road that snows in, and it's only way in or out, and the county, it's a county road, and when it snows like that, they're not going to get to actually opening up county roads for good 3-4 days. So this is so we could get through the drifts, so we could get out, but also mostly so we could blow the drifts out of driveways to get into our pasture land, so we could feed the cattle, but then get out to the pond and get the chainsaw and the sledgehammers to break ice in the pond so the cows can drink. Or sometimes we would haul water, but we didn't really have a very good water. So we didn't have a very good setup for animals. My wife, she's from a cattle production family, and they have the setups with tank heaters and all that kind of stuff. We didn't have that kind of thing. So this truck was, rather than our tractor with a dozer blade, was an open air tractor, so you're freezing, and all you had was the canvas sides we put on there, so the air that was pulled through the radiator from the fan would blow along and blow sort of back to you, that would kind of keep you warm. But anyway, yeah, straight 8s are Austin. Yeah, this is a 14-liter straight 8. It makes all its power at like 1,200, maybe 1,300 RPMs. I think the red line's about 1,800, because the pistons are like yay big around, and the stroke is like that long. So yeah, like 1,700 RPMs is the end of the world for that engine. I mean, it's not designed to really run past, I think, about 1,500. It's got what is it? Two huge carburetors that run it. You can find that video that Kent was talking about, and then what I rambled on about on my channel. But there are some other maybe related videos that will show the engine and stuff. of that, and it's pretty neat, pretty neat. 1957 four-wheel drive company. Um, the truck itself's pretty neat. It's just kind of neat that way. I mean, that's the thing. Somebody was asking here about my real job and such. My real job, that like I said pays the bills, is something. It's not even 180 degrees um, removed from what you see me do on YouTube to my upbringing, and what I'm talking about here, farming. It's like 360 degrees away from spun around from what I really um, from, like I said, what my passions here on YouTube show and things. And that's that kind of gets, I'm going to get sidetracked a little here, but I think you guys might understand it. Is that's kind of the thing that makes my real job interesting and fun and keeps me going back to it. And what doing this is my real job is so different. When I come and do this is such it's such an escape. And that's really why I knew out of high school I didn't want to be a mechanic, even though you obviously see it here. I mean, I like to take things apart. I like to fix things up. I like to be creative. I draw. I build scale models. I build things from scale models from scratch. I like to make video content. Okay, so that's that's another form of expression. And my job is 100. It's like I said, about 360 degrees different. Not even 180. We're going the whole circle different from any of that. And you think, well, how could you like that? Well, it's so different, and I still use a lot of the things that I know that I can figure out here, uh, in my other job, just applied to something that's, I'd say, totally different from what um, like I said, what you think I might do. And it's just the people I work with are different. They're great. I love who I work with, and I love who I work for. As far as it's a great atmosphere, and it just, I guess maybe I like challenge, and I don't care what it is, but I generally like any kind of challenge. So maybe that's where I'm going with this thing here. But it inspires me to learn things that I never, especially in college, I never thought I would need to know, could learn, because it's not it's it's what I went to school for, but also not what I went to school for, if that makes any sense. Elements of what I went to school for help me, but there's a lot of things where I almost every day for the past 15 years has been on the job training, um, you know, and things are even changing more. So I'm looking forward to it. And Wooden Metal Shop says problem solving applies to a job, and that's all at making, building, and solving problems. Yeah, you're right. Yep, to any job. Yep, it's and yeah, that's why I think I do reasonably well, and most people would say I succeed. But even when I quote unquote succeed at something at my job, I always look back and like I could have done it better. I guess I'm my own worst critic, and well, I suppose a lot of people are too. That's probably not unique, but they're like, "Oh wow, I didn't know you could. I didn't know how you could figure that out." And when they said, "Well, just I just think about how I did it," and I was like, but then when I kind of try to think of it from their perspective, like, yeah, because how did sometimes I amaze myself. I'm like, how in the hell did I figure that out? Um, um, but I just do, and I wish more people could sort of tap into that. But maybe, let's see, maybe I'm being short-sighted. Maybe just people don't. maybe not all people have that kind of aptitude. I don't know. But anyway, I think I probably better wrap this up unless you guys got some other comments or questions or something you want to go with. I'm noticing this old camera up here is getting a little fuzzy. I wonder why. It's like out of focus. Got to work on that. I should have been dinking with stuff a little bit. But anyways, yeah. Unless you guys have another comment you want to kind of make or a question or something, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate everybody who was in the stream, talking, watching, asking questions. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you are subscribed, well, just keep watching. I'm going to try to do this streaming thing more often, have better topics, maybe do some live building or working on something. I ought to find something that could film and do live rather than just see me turning, putting in 10 screws when you really only need to see me turn one screw half a turn to get the idea. So, yeah, well, anyway, I'm going to cut out of here, and the next stream, like I said, it's going to be a little more professional. I'll get my actual microphone. I'm just using the webcam mic, so, but I'm glad my internet connection held up. So I appreciate everybody who's been watching, and go check out Wooden Metal Workshop's channel and Paul's Garage channel. I know I referenced them a couple times just because they were ones that got me to be like, I was going to wait till next week to do this. And I was like, why wait? Let's just do it right now, So that's about it, and I'll see ya.